Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup was the beginning of their journey. Two former rookies joined the Red Bull KTM team together with Sandro Cortese to make their mark against the Grand Prix elite.
Nobody is going to save you now.
For 5 years, the Red Bull Rookies Cup has provided the chance for young talents around the world to step into the MotoGP world and make their biggest dreams come true, becoming professional motorcycle racers.
There can be no better way to get into Moto3 than through the Rookies Cup. I mean, that's what it was designed to do in the first place, was to be the perfect entrance into Grand Prix racing.
Everyone have to use the same bike, everyone have to use the same track, and everyone have to give the very, very best.
You learn all your media, you learn the tracks, you learn everything. You're in the MotoGP paddock, you get to be in the atmosphere.
One of the great things about the Rookies Cup is the reach. It reaches all corners of the world. We have applications from virtually every country that can see Grand Prix racing on television, and there's not many missing from that. So it has an enormous reach, and it takes the people who have some high-performance motorcycle experience and gives them the grounding to be Grand Prix riders. Of course, there's a period of adjustment. There is another step up in level, but it's not a huge step. They're very well equipped coming out of the Rookies Cup. They certainly know how to race. There's nothing more intense than a Rookies Cup race. So they have what it takes when they leave the Rookies Cup to do a good job in Moto3.
Many riders from the Red Bull Rookies Cup have made the step into the World Championship. Currently, there are 9 former rookies in the Moto3 class. Arthur Sissis and Danny Kent both finished the Rookies Cup as runners-up. Now they ride for the Red Bull KTM team, which is managed by Aki Ajo.
I think first of all we have to, when we have a new rider or even before we are selecting new rider, it's quite important to know a little bit about the person, his attitude, what is his lifestyle, everything. Many young riders, when they arrive here in the championship or even when they arrive to our team, for sure they are not ready. And I don't say that they are even ready when they go out here. Just the important is to find the best possible working style together.
To be honest, I never had such a big opportunity like the Rookies Cup riders have in these days. Arthur Sissis and Danny Kent, I think they are really in a good situation and could be so glad what they get. Because if I see me, how I came in the GP, it was a much harder way than they had. I had to work also in the German Championship, like as a half mechanic, clean the tires, the wheels, help my 2 mechanics wherever I could.
The rider has to be a friend of his with his staff also. Somehow, you know, like a close working friends, and you have to feel a little bit here like that you are like a one family. I think it's a little bit also like a receipt of our team, that staff and riders, we are like a big family. We would like to keep it like a big family. Of course, in the family you're also fighting sometimes and you have harder times, but I think we have really good spirit here and also between our riders. I'm really happy about that.
This is my teammate, Danny Kent.
Don't mess me out. God, especially on camera. And Danny is a very sort of cultured, mature-looking young man, really. And he was that way all the way through Rookies Cup. He sort of made sure his hair was combed, that sort of thing.
Me and Danny always fighting about who's beaten who in that, so. Hey, giving you a bit of luck. For Sandro, I don't want him to leave the team because he's just really cool, and I would call him a big brother to me.
Cortese was quite impossible to work with kind of person. But you know, luckily, even he don't have a brain, he can ride the bike. So we are so lucky. Sandro is really funny person. I have to say that we have had a really great time together. Arthur's a natural comedian, and you know, he just enjoys life,
and I didn't tell him what to say in front of a camera. He's just funny all the time.
That's perk. No, that's vodka. Straight vodka. We'll cut that out for you, vodka.
Some people are looking about Arthur that, okay, there is crazy Australian, but I think this is not the right words about him. He's really, finally I think he's really calm person, really sympathetic and team player.
I'm still the same shit kid like I was in the Rookies Cup. I still make jokes and all that, but...
He's such a crazy guy, and if you see his Aussie style, sometimes you can't believe that he's on the racetrack so professional.
Arthur Sissis is a special situation for his own, because he was absolutely nobody when we got him for the first selection event, because he just did Speedway in Australia.
I shall never forget seeing Arthur for the first time at the selection event in Estoril, arriving at the first corner at the end of the start and finish straight with the whole thing locked up, the bike going sideways and just throwing it into the corner. He had no idea what he was doing on a road racing bike. He's a Speedway rider, that's all he knew, but you could see that he had skill and talent.
The first time I rode a road bike was the first selection event in Italy. It was quite shitty. I was using a lot of back brake because Speedway, we don't have brakes, but I slide it a lot and it was slowing me down a lot, down the straight and everywhere because my rear brake kept on locking on.
For the first 2 years, he was pretty average, really, because the family didn't have enough money for him to ride outside the Rookies Cup, so he laboured against this lack of experience while the other guys were off racing in the off-season, racing between Rookies Cup racing. Arthur wasn't doing any of that, he only had the Rookies Cup. You know, Arthur is the perfect example of the rider we like to bring through the Rookies Cup. He's a guy who would have no chance of going Grand Prix racing without the Cup, and the Cup was able to give him all the skills and the grounding to make him a Moto3 rider.
It's good to have Arthur in the team because we got on well in the rookies, and it's good to have two guys which have progressed from the rookie championship now in the factory team in World Championship.
Danny, of course, came to the Rookies Cup with road racing experience. He's come up through the ranks in Britain, you know, riding pocket bikes, mini bikes, you know, and then 125 Grand Prix machines, and with a lot more experience than Arthur Sissis, for example. He knew what he was doing on the motorcycle, but he certainly progressed through his time in Rookies Cup. He got quicker, he got more consistent, and he learned how to win races. That's something he certainly didn't have when he came into the Cup.
MotoGP 2012 is underway!
In the first race of the 2012 season, Arthur Sissis exceeded his team's expectations.
I have to say also, I was so surprised when we fight in Doha and Arthur overtook me on the straight, and I first thought, it's Danny. But it was Arthur, and I was smiling under the helmet when I saw him on the straight passing me.
I think Arthur actually, he surprised many people already this year, especially beginning of the year, about his performance was really, really good.
I don't think anyone was expecting him to be there, which I think was also good for Arthur's shoulders because he's got no pressure on him, no expectations, so he got a good start and he was able to run with the leaders. So.
Yeah, I think that's his Aussie easy style. He don't really care about others, and I think this is also a big point. You don't have to care so much or have too much respect for the riders. Of course, you have to respect them as a sport guy, but on the track you need the self-confidence to overtake them and fight immediately if you can.
After him surprisingly taking 7th place in his first race, it's been hard for Arthur Sissis to stay in the top group.
It's going, I'd say, I don't know, not bad so far. I've had some good races and some bad ones, but I think I learned a lot from all the bad ones and even from the good ones, but yeah, it's been really good. I expected it not to be so hard. I thought that like during halfway, maybe even halfway through the season, that I could slowly be up with the front guys. But every time that I improve, they improve as well. So yeah, it's really, really hard, but I think I'm getting better.
You have to prepare also your brain, the eyes, everything for racing. It's not only that you have a base condition and saying, now I'm fit. The brain has to be also ready for the speed, for the corners, for the fight, that in really hard moments you think clearly.
If you need the pan, if this is the pan, this is
40 minutes with triangles, changing every second on a black and white screen. After 5 minutes, your eyes start going. You just start seeing the same thing. They're shit. I don't like it.
The thing he have to improve is to be better organized. And better organized, it means he have to organize his life. He have to find out what he needs for being ready to give 100% of his performance, because in World Championship it's not enough 90%. The minimum range is 100%.
If you are finally in a GP team and going out on a track, maybe for some rider it's like, it's completely new. The riding style is 200% more aggressive as in a Rookies Cup. Even sometimes it looks like the Rookies Cup riders, they're doing something stupid and crazy. In the GP it's maybe a little, it's much more professional, but sometimes so much more how the races are and the fights.
Sandro Cortese is going to win!
You feel like you're on the limit in some corners, and then when you look at the data, you're nowhere near the limit. So it's hard to find the limit without crashing, and sometimes you have to crash. I haven't crashed this year in the dry, so I haven't found the limit yet, but one day I will.
One strong point of Arthur, for sure, it's that he is a relaxed guy, enjoying life, and he really wants results. But of course there is a lot to learn, because he has not been long time here in a really professional level, and to come from the Rookies Cup to MotoGP World Championship, of course it's quite a big step, and especially the working style is different here.
We have all of this data and all of that. We can tell where we're going slower and where we're going faster, and about the suspension and all of this. In the Rookies Cup, if I wasn't doing a fast lap time, I'd always blame it on the suspension. But now, when I rode like how I rode in the Rookies Cup on a proper GP bike, and then they showed me the data, I could understand why I was going slow. It wasn't the suspension, it was because of me. I got to try harder in qualifying, I think.
I think if it's a dry normal race and he qualified 10, I think it's no problem to fight for 5th position or 4th.
The race, I think I'm pretty good, because I always think that I don't want the other riders to go so far and embarrass me, so then I just go full. But in the qualifying, I think I take too much. I'm too careful.
Arthur is maybe missing this half second in a qualifying, and but having the race speed for the whole race. And maybe now, step by step, he's getting closer to this front group, and I think at the end of the year he could make some really good races.
Nobody's expecting anything big from me, like winning the championship or winning races, just to learn, just to learn more about the tracks, the riders, and I don't know, I think I've become a better rider, but still not good enough to be at the front in the Moto3.
In the Japanese Grand Prix, Danny Kent won his first Moto3 race. It's his second season in the World Championship, so there is more pressure on him to deliver results throughout the whole season.
We knew we could be up there, and so happy to get my first win.
The season this year has been a bit up and down, been a bit of a roller coaster, but I think we had high expectations from the pre-season testing going into Qatar. We expected a bit too much, I think.
Winter test, he was really fast and so confident, and I really saw him as a rival because he was nearly same fast as me in all the winter tests, sometimes even much more fast, and I was wondering,
When we were so fast in testing, all the media, the magazines, everything, they put a lot of pressure on the rider from doing what they do in pre-season testing. So we went to Qatar as a title favourite with it, but yeah.
This is also what young riders have to learn. After a good race, the next race is not easier. It's of course harder to make the same good result. So this is also a learning process.
This year there was a lot more pressure than what I had last year. Obviously, last year I was in the same situation what Arthur's in this year. For sure, it's going to be a lot more harder for Arthur next year. But yeah, I feel there's a bit more pressure this year, mainly from myself. The main problem is that it takes me quite a while at the beginning of the race to get into a rhythm. I think this is a mental thing. I think we just got the main thing is maybe I'm a little bit nervous at the beginning of the race. We need to try and overcome this. But yeah, I just need my nerves back from when we was in the rookies. I was a bit more aggressive in the rookies, I'd say.
Danny has improved a lot. I have to say first of all that he has a big talent, really. I think a little bit more experience, he will have a nice future in this MotoGP series here.
While the rookies Arthur Sissis and Danny Kent still struggle with their consistency, their experienced teammate Sandro Cortese has had a perfect season.
Last year Sandro was not in our team, and when he came back last winter, I felt already that he has grown a lot.
You don't win a championship if only winning races. There has to be the experience, the good team, and the consistency. Like you win also, like Emilio Alzamora win in, I can't remember in which year, but he won the world title without winning a race in one season. So it sounds strange, but this is a point what makes a champion. Before I didn't reach the podium, I had so many fourth places because I lost in the battle for the podium because I was just unexperienced. But the day where I get my first podium, it was like switching the head, like okay, now I have a podium. Now I want some more.
Sandro's racing intelligence and the chase for podiums finally paid off. At the Sepang circuit in Malaysia, he took his first World Championship title.
That's like a dream come true, of course, with that World Championship, but with a victory, it's incredible.
He really has shown his experience this year in races. He has been only 2 times out of the podium, and in those both races when he was out of the podium, he finished 6th after crash. So his level is really high at the moment, and he really used his experience.
Sandro won the World Championship. We went to have a little party, and it was quite fun.
Everyone needs sometimes party, hang around with their friends, celebrate a little bit. You cannot be 1 year or every day just working for this job. Everyone have to put their head off one day, drinking a little bit, and relax. It's like, okay, if you have a really good race, you had a victory, a podium, Aki is the last person who says no. But you have always to find this middle way to celebrate, have the party, but not doing too much of it.
Aki Ajo is a well-known name in the MotoGP world. He already produced 2 World Championship titles in the 125cc class. Mike D'Amelio in 2008 and Marc Marquez in 2010. He has the reputation of being a tough team manager, but his riders love to work with him.
Aki is really good. He's really happy, and I think he's one of the best bosses. Like, he won't beat you because you're doing shit. He'll like try help. He said, even though I'm your boss, you have to be my boss as well. Like, you have to tell me things that you don't like in the team, like things that I don't like, things that I want to improve in the team, and yeah.
I think which is a bit different in our team comparing to others is that in our team, even we have 3 riders, we try to be one big group. I see in many other teams they have like 3 separate groups and fighting maybe even too much between each other.
Aki is, for me, a brilliant team boss because he knows very well how it works in racing, and he has a son in the same age as well.
First of all, I'm really straight. I think people who know me better, I think they know that I'm inside quite soft guy who just has to keep things running well here, and of course it sounds or it looks sometimes that Aki is quite strong, but I think it has to be this way, and also, you know, I just want that we all in the team, we are in same level and we respect each other.
He's one of the toughest and hardest guy I ever met. But on the other side, he's a really sensitive guy. Even you don't see it. I think he lived also his dream, and he's living really for that sport. And this is what also a lot of people, I think, they don't see this. They don't see only the hard guy who is maybe from the outside sometimes too hard, but if you really know Aki and know how his working style is, it's really nice to work with him.
Good chemistry in a team is very important. The MotoGP season is almost 10 months long, and that means a lot of traveling all around the world.
I travel with the team, like I've got friends in the team, Danny, Sandro, Zulfami, and we do pretty cool stuff, so. At the start of the season, it was a bit weird because I didn't know anyone, but now we're nearly at the end of the season, and at some parties we went to. The girls are good. We don't have umbrella girls, that's a bad thing. We got to tell Aki, for Phillip Island I have to have an umbrella girl. Can I please have an umbrella girl for Phillip Island?
The Australian GP is Arthur's home race. Of course, he has high expectations for this special event.
At the start of the season, my biggest plan, or my main goal, was to finish in the top 15. But now that I know that I can fight with the top 10, my plan is to make a few solid points in the next few races and hopefully be up close to the top 10.
Now all eyes are on Arthur. His whole family came to see Arthur fighting for a top 10 position, or maybe even the podium. With his third-place finish, Arthur exceeded everybody's expectations. He's now a step closer to fulfilling his big dream. But the journey to MotoGP just started.
Well, it's been my dream since I was a kid, I suppose. to be riding in the MotoGP or even in the World Championship, but my biggest dream I haven't got yet. That'd be to ride in the MotoGP. One dream was to be world champion. That'd be really hard though. But if I can get to MotoGP, that'd be pretty cool.
The first year he did really, really good results, and now everyone is looking for the second year. And the hardest job in this business is you have to get better every year. So if you think it was good enough for this year, for the next year, it's the lowest level.
If I can keep on improving and getting better and just do what I'm doing, and hopefully I can be there.
Arthur Sissis and Danny Kent had a successful transition from the Red Bull Rookies Cup into the Moto3 World Championship. While they both have matured into professional athletes, the next talents from the Rookies Cup are already on their way up.